Hi folks, G3 here and welcome to another instalment of my journey to go green. This week's episode is just a catch up in the garden because it is now warm enough for me to get out and about in the garden. It's been a little bit too cold of late, so I haven't particularly fancied it. My fingers were feeling a little bit too cold outside, so yeah, now it's starting to get a little bit warmer, the sun's shining a little bit more. I've decided I'm able to get out here and do a little bit of work, so it's just a catch up to let you know what's going on, what I've been up to. Well, the first thing I've been doing is I've gone and cleared out the wildflower garden and removed a few of the overgrown bits and pieces there that have died back, and removed a bit of moss. And what I've done then is exposed the soil, and I've gone and sprinkled on some new seeds. So it's been a few things like the wildflower mix. Obviously here in Dover I have chalky soil, so I've gone and got a mix specially for that. I've also had some Yellow Rattle seeds which I've sprinkled on, and those are particularly good at removing grass, general grass. And the way that works is that it will combat the roots of the grass, so that it will cause it to grow less strongly, and in future years the regular grass will sort of die back a little bit and the other flowers can take over. I had bought that seed for the front garden and hadn't got round to sowing it last year, so I've made use of that and sprinkled it over the wildflower garden just so that it can hopefully take a little bit more of a hold there, and we've got a bit more of a mixture of seeds. The other thing I've been doing is starting to weed a couple of the beds, remove some of the dead growth there and expose it so that the bulbs coming through, so things like the snowdrops, the crocus, that sort of thing, they've got a little bit more of a chance to grow, less competition. So that's another thing that I've started doing. And also I've started getting some trays ready to sow some seeds. So I'm a member of the RHS, and one of the things they have there is a seed scheme. So every year they'll collect seeds from their gardens and then sell those on to the members. And you can claim up to, I think it's 10 packets for £1 each. Now the kind of things that I've been buying and getting ready to sow, it's things like Digitalis. So I've got Digitalis viriflora, Ferruginea, which is rusty foxglove, Albiflora, which is a white flowered one. I've got those Digitalis I'm going to be sowing. Fritillaria meleagris, fritillary, basically. Now this I need to sow in autumn and cover the seeds lightly, so I can't do that just yet. I've got some Pennisetum, so Pennisetum alopecurides, which is a Chinese fountain grass. That I need to sow in spring, and it needs to be heated. The seeds will need to be heated, so I'll put that on my heat map. It needs to be in well-drained soil. I've also got Pennisetum villosum, which is a feathertop grass, and that's the same. I'm going to have to heat those seeds in springtime with well-drained soil, so not something I can do quite yet. And the other one that I need to do in spring, Molinia caerulea, and it's purple moorgrass. Now this one also has to be done in spring, so I can't do those quite yet. And other seeds that I'm going to be able to hopefully sow soon, I've got peacock tiger flower, and that will need to be heated. Cardinal catchfly, pasque flower. I've also got Papaver somniferum, which is the opium poppy, New Zealand satin flower, and Echinacea palladia. That's going to have to be on heat. So there's a few different things that I can sow now. So those are things that I'm going to kick off and then get on my heat mats where needed. Not all of them need to be on heat, but that's where some of those things. So that's another activity that I'm going to be undertaking. One of the issues I found at the start of the season is that the compost that I've got from last year has dried out over winter, and it is really quite dry. So I'm having to get that moist again by mixing it in with some water in a tray and just keep mixing and mixing until it's got moisture in there, because it's taken a little while to get it to mix nicely. But I need to make sure that it's moist so that when I sow the seeds on it, they are going to have that connection with the seed once it's grown for the roots to go through. Whereas if it's dry, it's going to be really hard to then water initially, because it's just going to run off. So it needs that initial level of moisture for the water then to be able to sort of soak up through when I do go and dunk the trays in a water bath to water them once the seedlings are actually growing, because I really don't want to have to disturb them by watering from the top, if at all possible. So that's taken a little bit of time to get sorted, and what I think I'm going to do is leave it for a day or two to soak through before I actually sow anything. So I'm I'm not going to be able to get around to doing that straight away. And the final thing is I'm going to start tidying around. So I've got a lot of long grass around the raised beds. So it's now time for me to start sort of taking that back a little bit, clearing it round. That will sort of remove a little bit of space where some pests could be lurking. So slugs and snails and that kind of thing. So I'll be opening that up a little bit and just a general tidy up. So time of year that I can start doing a bit of tidying. It's great to be out and to see a little bit of growth in the garden. So the bulbs coming through, my rhubarb is starting to come through as well. So it's great to see that coming on. It's just, it's just really nice to see a little bit of fresh life coming. I hope that you also got the opportunity to get out into the garden. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you've been up to, the kind of tasks that you've started doing in the garden, or whether maybe you haven't ventured out as yet. So yeah, please leave your comments down below. Up next, there's this video that I think you might find useful. And if you haven't done so already, then why not subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you get notified when I load up a new video. Well, thanks for watching, folks. Until next time, bye.